Okay. Just waiting for the lagging hangouts. YouTube to catch up with me. Here we go. Welcome, live from the Crossroads of America, a talk show about guns, politics, or anything else that crosses my mind. Answers questions from the audience. Just type them in the chat box on YouTube or in my chat box, if it works, on Gun Channels, my actual page. You can email me at Rickslifeasiseeit at gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. Also, I'll get this done up front. I have a Patreon page if you want to support me or you want to do a one-time donation. I got a PayPal. All that information is in the information description below on YouTube and on Gun Channels. You know, you can share, subscribe, and all that good stuff to help with the analytics, get my thing out there. I think I'm up to 220 something odd subscribers now. So, but I was thinking to go buy some. What do you think? Anyway, in the chat, first in the house this afternoon was Jason Stewart. We got Jason Stewart, then we got the Midnight Range. Then Blind Shooter's in the house, and he's telling me he's not going to be in the panel today because he's got to work, you know. And, you know, I mean, he said he's not going to be here. He's getting as bad as, getting as bad as Patriot with these excuses. So, but that's okay. Now, do I have to refresh on Gun Channels for the actual chat to work? I'm not sure. Yes, you do, because you don't have the little chat box down the bottom anymore. But if anybody wants to join the panel, the link is over there in the chat box. I don't put it on the front page of Gun Channels. You have to actually go to my page to find the link. So, right now, until everybody starts coming in, I think Dead Horse just finished his took a break from the reloading chat for why I'm on air, which is very nice of him. So people should start coming over. Native Gun joined us. How you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Ozzy Osbourne's in the house. So that's good. All right. Right at the moment, let me introduce my one panelist for right now is Squib Load. How you doing, Squib?
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, I'm out here in the garden today, living the bachelor life this weekend, so I can actually make time for you. Otherwise, I'd rather be with my family than hang out with you, Rick.
I know. It's rare occasions we have you here on a Saturday. I know that.
Yeah. But I do appreciate the invite, whether I take it or not. And that goes for everybody else out there who sends me invites, especially on the weekends when I'm tied up. I mean, I have done live shows while on vacation. I've been out on the road driving, and my family's pretty much used to it. So if there's anybody out there listening, I appreciate the invites, whether I take them or not. And when I have opportunities like this, I like to jump on the show. And I know a lot of you out there with families understand how that is. And not that I'm critical to the show. I'm definitely not. If anything, I think I'm comic relief. Somebody's got to keep Patriot in check, but
I don't know where he is today. He's probably
doing important family stuff. So I'll call in the B team, call in me, and I'm fine with it. I'm good with it. So hopefully we got a good show. I know that this week, being a panelist on a bunch of different shows, there have been some topics that I really haven't had much to say on. I know last night I ad-libbed an answer really bad. I sounded like a politician on stage trying to just make up stuff because I really didn't know what to say. So hopefully, Rick, I don't let you down today.
Are you talking about on the Guns and Gadgets show or whatever you call it? What review?
No. On that, I didn't really have anything to add because my opinion was 100% different than everybody else on the show, and I just really didn't want to go there. But no, on Foul Territory. First off, on mobile, the GunStreamer app, not a GunStreamer, the StreamYard app does not work well with mobile devices. And I'm not the only one who's having problems, but so half the time I couldn't hear what they were saying. It was and I don't have that on Hangouts. So it was really hard to kind of, when I'm getting every third word, trying to figure out what the answer. And then I didn't really have any comments on, there was some talk about different things. I think they were self-defense, having a weapon or not having a weapon and doing the right thing and all that. And really just didn't have a whole lot on it. So, but it's been like that all week long. There's been different shows I've been on that I don't know what's going on, but, so there, I made a topic, not having a real good answer and just sort of making up crap as you go along.
Not a problem. Couple of things that just want to say is I want to apologize to anybody actually watching this on YouTube. My internet is so poor, my bandwidth, I'm coming across all grainy. I mean, I'm out. I should turn the camera off, but I got so used to running it on this show. That's why I leave it on. So I just want to tell people that's why. It's not the camera. It's my bandwidth. Because I was having trouble with, as people know, in the past, I kept losing my internet 4 or 5 times a day. Sometimes during this show, I would lose it 2 or 3 times during the show. What it is, out here in the rural Indiana, which I'm living, DSL is all I got. And when they hooked me up, they didn't tell me that they did. They said I was the last house on the block, which was all right. But I'm actually 3.5 miles from where it comes from. And that's way too far for DSL. So what they had to do, they had to drop everything down to the lowest setting as possible just to keep me connected. And it still drops. I mean, I lost it earlier this morning. I mean, it was only for about 5 minutes, but, at least it comes back now without me having to get up, go in the other room, reset the router to get it to work. At least it comes back on without me having to do that. Also, that's another reason why I'm rambling on here, is I've gone to bi-weekly during the summer months, as Squib said. He's out with his family on the weekends. A lot of people are out doing stuff in this beautiful weather you have in the summertime. So I understand that. That's why I went that route, So, I mean, like Squib was in here. He was very polite and didn't speak. But my aunt just called up just before. Wasn't my aunt, it was my cousin, sorry. She called up and wanted to know why I wanted to go to the cabin on the lake this afternoon, go fishing. But I had to turn it down because I have my show to do. Now that was last week or next week, I can do it no problem. Jason Stewart said he took off his glasses and I look good. Yeah, I say that to myself when I look in the mirror to shave too. So, okay, let's get this show on with some topics. I got some, actually. I wrote some down. And first one is, I saw this earlier in the week. The people are going to love this. I know Midnight is. In the city of Chicago, the mayor said gun control has failed. But it's only failed because of states like Indiana with less gun laws than we have in the city here. Because people go over to Indiana, buy the guns, and come back and do crimes with them. Well, if I'm correct, I believe it's federal law that you can't buy a handgun in another state. If you you can buy one, but you have to have it sent to an FFL in your home state. So that blows their theory right out the window there. Anything they won't admit they are wrong, and she is wrong. Her predecessor was wrong, and she's wrong. But as I said this before, and I stole it from a radio show, you show me a city in decay, and And I bet you guarantee you it's been run by Democrats for years and years and years. You know? So there you go. Ozzy Osbourne, I'm getting ready to go to my 40-year high school reunion. Is it worth going after all those years? Really? I mean, some of these people you ain't seen for 20, 30 years. You know? Do you really know them anymore? That is the question. You know? And also, do you really want to see that, you know, that real hot cheerleader that you used to drool over out there, and now she's a 300-pound, 60-year-old woman? You know what I'm saying? So, kind of depressing thought, actually, to me. But anyway, that's where it's going. So, I just want to mention that. And then here's another little tidbit I was reading. United Kingdom, where I lived for years and years and years, everybody knows. They had a drive-by shooting the other night. Three people shot. Nobody was killed, but 3 people shot. And I was wondering, how in the hell did they get guns over there with their strict gun laws where they took them all? And you know, there's only, and if you have a gun, if you own a firearm, it has to be locked up in a safe box. And normally, if you own one, they want you to keep it locked in a safe in the actual gun club you belong to. You know, it's very, very difficult to get a gun over in England now to have one. So it's amazing how that happened. It really is. I'm amazed. You know, so Ozzy says we need to get reacquainted with your old school chums. I don't know. I really don't. I personally don't want to with mine. But then again, see, here's a little tidbit. I don't know if I mentioned this before in the past. When I was in school, there was basically 2 groups. There was the jocks, then there was the nerds, right? But when I was in school, there was the jocks, there was the nerds, and there was me. So getting reacquainted with everybody is not really my thing. So I'm quite happy the way I am. Thank you. Hey, Kingpin, glad you could join.
Hey, Rick, I'm working, so I might not be too active, but thanks for having me.
That's no problem. Yeah. So anyway, so back to my list of little topics here. Just throw some. Did you read? I think Mr. Knives posted it on the front of gun channels this morning, but I was reading it before I saw it on there. Was up in Massachusetts. That why you go magnet fishing? I haven't figured that one out yet, but he pulled out a Uzi out of this small pond up in Massachusetts that was still fully loaded. You know, so he called the police, and the police asked him if he would throw his magnet out there some more, and he did. And they pulled in a coat python, and there was a couple of other handguns they pulled in. Every one of them was fully loaded.
Rick, you realize that is evidence that boating accidents do actually happen.
Yeah, that's what you stole my thunder there, Squib. I was going to say so.
That's what you get for inviting me.
Yeah, the boating accident is not a myth. It really happens. You know? But this new fishing, magnet fishing is what they're calling it. Other people do it all over the country, from what I understand. They do it to see what they can find in bottom of ponds and lakes and stuff. You know, I thought, Jesus Christ, you could get it. I mean, is that a hobby? But anyway, where it's going with this. Anyway, the police sent in the dive team, but there was no more guns in the bottom of the pond. The guy with his magnet got them all. But I just want to say boating accidents do happen. So be careful, guys, when you have your boating accidents. Somebody out there with a big magnet could come and take all your guns without you even knowing it.
I'm gonna stay unmuted because I'm staining a deck, and I don't want to have to, take my gloves on and off. But if the background noise gets too much, just go ahead and mute me, Rick.
Will do.
Did I lose you guys already?
What? Oh no, I was reading a comment in the chat there. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. I don't want to go, but hey, if you want to go to a reunion, you go for it. Is what I'm saying. But it's just not for me. That's all I was trying to say is, and if you enjoy going to your class reunions, by all means, do it. I'm not stopping you. But if I get an invitation to a class reunion, I don't go. I don't even entertain it. And the only you know what I'm saying? And more likely before the end of that day, that invitation's in the mail because I don't have no plans on going ever. So that's all I was trying to say. But if you want to go, go for it. Enjoy yourself.
What's somebody complaining because you have an opinion about something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit tired of that.
Yeah, I'm too. There's a lot of that going on around here. I don't know why. It just seems that maybe it's just because it's a hot, muggy summer. I don't know.
Maybe because people are pissy and you need to get a life. And I'm not referring to whoever you're talking to directly, so I don't want to I'm just saying in general.
Yeah.
So whoever you're talking to specifically, I apologize. I'm not talking to you specifically, but people need to change their panties once in a while.
Yep. Hey, Snob's wife joined us. How you doing? Good to see you here.
And I can't see the chat, so hello everybody in the chat room.
Yeah. So, sorry, Snob's wife, you won't get your smoochies from David today.
XOs.
In the chat. So, I'm not sure if she's talking to you, but she goes, "Hi, honey, did you miss me?" So I wonder if she's talking to you, David.
Well, see, I'm loyal, but she's got all kinds of boyfriends.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And you can ask her, is Snob doing a show tonight? Does she know yet?
Oh, so Snob's wife, David wants to know, is your husband doing a show tonight? Oh, she says, tell David, and there's 4 big giant red hearts here.
Nice.
Yeah. So anyway, back to my where else was I going on about? Oh yeah, next thing on my list here that I'm just throwing these out there. We can talk about anything you want, really, what's going on. But everybody's heard about that rule in California now, right? About how assault weapons, AR-15s, AKs, and all that are not covered under the Second Amendment. That's what that judge ruled. Was it yesterday or the day before? Because they are killing machines, and there's no difference between those semi-automatics. And the definition, I believe, is a semi-automatic has a removable magazine. So even your Ruger 1022s has a removable magazine, I believe. So my little M&P 1522 is a killing machine in California. So, oh man, it's pretty. Of course, you know what's going to happen. It's at a federal level, so now that will be appealed, and it go to the 3-judge panel. Then either it will be overturned or kept, and it will be appealed again, and it'll go to the big en bloc, or whatever they call it, to see what happens in the Ninth Circuit. But the Ninth Circuit surprised us a couple of times so far this year because the president has appointed a few judges in California's the Ninth Circuit who believe in the Constitution, not their politics. So, which is good. But a killing machine. That is what an AR-15 is.
Isn't that what all guns are?
Yeah. But the AR-15 why it's a killing machine and it's classed the same as an M16 because it can fire 300 to 400 rounds per minute. I don't even think Jerry can do it that fast. But I don't know.
Oh yeah, Snob and Gary last night were talking about these 22s that can shoot through buildings and through people and keep going through another building and another person. And I got a little angry. I'm like, I've been hanging out on gun channels for some time now, and you guys haven't told me about that. I feel like I'm missing out.
Have either of you ever shot an M16 or any other select fire variant on
No.
the AR-15?
No,
Either of
sir.
you?
I tried 2 weeks ago, and it failed.
I shot a. No, it wasn't. It was. I can't think of what it was. It wasn't. I shot one down in Florida when I was down there for my son's wedding. We went to a shooting range and we all chipped in money to because you could rent it. And I fired my box in about 30 seconds or less. I wasn't that impressed, to be honest with you, but I can't remember what it was. I can't remember the make of it. So anyway, I wasn't that impressed. I personally myself, if I was going to war and they gave me one, I would hope it had that 3-round burst on it. That's the best I would go with. So what are you going to say about it?
Oh, as somebody who shot both, I can tell you that if I was a politician and I wanted to use one of two measures to, I guess, control gun use, I would outlaw the semi-auto AR-15 and make the M16, the M4, and other select fire variants, whether it had 3-round burst, full auto, or a combination of both, as the only thing you could buy. And here's the reason. The full auto select fire jams a lot. And if you want to go from the whole tax stamp idea where we're going to make it so expensive people can't afford to shoot it, most of these clowns out here that scream about the NFA, and I'm not saying you shouldn't have access to full auto. You want full auto, get full auto. Once you get it and you find out how much money it costs to feed this thing, you won't think it's so great. I hear all kinds of people come on YouTube and, oh, machine guns, all select fire, submachine guns, blah, 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 blah. Have you ever shot one? Well, no. Okay, go out there and pay the ammo bill for something that's like, suddenly you'll be, this wasn't such a good idea. It's like buying the car that's a gas guzzler or buying the motorcycle that's got outrageous outrageous cost for the insurance because of how fast it is. You didn't do the research before you bought the item. And I'm not, and when I say that, people get all bent out of shape, and it's usually the same people who've never shot full auto before. I've shot lots of full auto. There's a way to do it for free, enlist, but yeah, if the government wasn't paying the bill, I don't know. If I had a full auto, it'd probably gather dust in the safe because it'd just be too expensive to shoot. I'm not saying I'd never own one, and they're really not that expensive. Some of these cost as much as or less than a new car. And somebody go, well, I can't afford a new car. Then you got bigger problems than the NFA, dude. But yeah, the M16 jams a lot. On semi-auto, it is an excellent target rifle. But on burst or full auto, it just jams a lot. So, but for them to classify it that way, they're just showing their ignorance. They don't understand the science and technology of firearms. And I'm not saying they necessarily have to, but if they're legislating this stuff, they might want to get a panel of advisors, and not just some advisors who write movies, but actual people who use the stuff. So, I mean, it's just more ignorance on the part of the government. It's like them trying to legislate healthcare, and they don't go and ask doctors, or people who do medical billing, or maybe patients who have lifelong, life-threatening illnesses that cost millions of dollars to insurance companies. Those are the people they need to be talking to when they write legislation regarding health insurance. But instead, they just go with what they think works, and that's just the way it is. unfortunately.
Yeah,
Well,
David?
it's no different than, one of these social justice warriors coming out and saying men can't talk about abortions because we don't have babies. Well, if I can't talk about black people because I'm not black, and I can't talk about abortion because I'm not a woman, then I don't think you should be able to talk about guns if you don't know anything about guns.
That's against the First Amendment.
No, but he makes a great point, though.
He does.
He makes a great point. And there's a comedian named Owen Benjamin. I don't really care for the guy, but he does have a good thing to say. He says, my black friend says, you don't know what it's like to be black. And then he says back to him, you don't know what it's like to not know what it's like to be black. So it's the same point David's making, and that's true. You have a right to an opinion, but your opinion may not be educated or informed because you don't have a background in what you're making an opinion on. It's just like when I hear people talk about the military, or I guess the full auto crowd. Have you ever shot one? Have you shot more than one kind? Have you shot them under different circumstances? Well, no. Okay, well, you have a right to your opinion, but you sound like a moron because you really don't know what you're talking about, and that's just it.
I always like if you don't have kids, you just don't know. Well, I don't need to have kids to know what it's like to have kids because, when you leave and your kids go out in public, I have to deal with them.
Yeah. Anyway, real quick, just want to say more people have joined us in the chat. Gun Loving Grandpa, Rich White, RD New York Outcast, Sean Bonner, he's even joined us, and he put in here, I still want the option for full auto. I'd rather have that option and not afford it than have no option for the masses, and the few available are old and getting older and prohibitively expensive.
And I'm not saying you shouldn't have that option. And I mean, they are prohibitively expensive depending on how you look at it. If you want a Stungewehr and it's $300,000 and there's only a few of them, yeah. If you want an M16A2, no, they're not really that expensive. But it's not right for them to cost that much. It's not right for there to be a use amendment and just stop it at 86 unless you have an SOT, which, by the way, is another way around, not around it, to work within it, really. But the whole point is, no, you should have access to it. I'm just saying, be careful what you wish for. Because once you get it, you'll be like, dang, even reloading can't offset the cost of this. I'm not saying you shouldn't have it. People don't listen past the second or third sentence. They only hear, oh, well, he's stuff. And that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that you're entitled to an opinion. Somebody's taping something. You're entitled to an opinion, but just understand that if your opinion isn't based at all on experience or education, or maybe even the best of both worlds, or a combination of the both, then, yeah, you don't really sound, you'll convince another person who's not educated or experienced, but that's about it.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I agree with you. I mean, what I find funny is they are expensive to your normal layman like me, who's on a fixed income to buy a firearm. But listen to the other side. How in the hell is somebody like me who's a fat white redneck able to afford, guns, that kind of gun? Oh, hang on a minute. I got to get rid of that. Sorry. All right. Hang on. Let me unmute Kingpin here because he was making some noise. How do you unmute him? Does he have to unmute himself, or will it let me unmute him? It won't let me unmute him. Oh, damn.
Yeah, you can only unmute yourself.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I muted you because you're getting louder than Squib. So,
yeah, I had to tape a air conditioning unit up to keep from dripping stain on the top of it.
Yeah,
I figured you were taping something based on the sound. I'm talking over wind and a highway. So I know I already talk loud, and I have to have the volume up all the way on my phone because I can never hear you guys. So that just when I make the earbud mic or the earbud loud, it makes the mic loud. So I'm being even louder than normal. So I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm just explaining it.
that's all right.
Did Snob's wife Did Snob's wife ever answer whether Snobby's having a show or not?
Oh, she said she didn't know.
All right.
You know. Oh, Grim 90 has joined us. It's good to see you. Yeah. Oh, another thing I noticed that a little bit of politics there. I see the Supreme Court ruled 5-4 in favor of funding President Trump's wall. So the Dems are up in arms in that. You know, so I thought I thought that was pretty funny. I tell you, with the Mueller thing this week and him winning that and everything else, they are going absolutely crazy. And I think the way I got a feeling they ain't going to fare too well in 2020. You know, I think Trump might pull it off, having a second term. Is that good for us? I don't know.
Absolutely, it is.
I think it is. I think it is. You know, and yes, he has done. I mean, I am disgusted about the bump, telling them to change the rules in the bump stock. You know, and okay, yes, he did say there on national TV, and that take the guns first, due process later was totally out of order. But yeah, an actual yes, states have brought in red flag laws as individual states, but a federal red flag law hasn't hit his desk yet. You know, so
And let's just make it quite clear. Jared from Guns and Gadgets put out a video talking about, Donald Trump's the worst Second Amendment president we've ever had, and he got a lot of flack for it. For the most part, it was dead on accurate, but I had to let him know, and he received it well. I think he's a good guy. I support his channel, but he kept blaming, like he was talking like Donald Trump wrote red flag laws, like this was his idea, and that's just not even remotely close to accurate. I mean, red flag laws have been around long before Donald Trump, and they'll be here long after Donald Trump leaves. So, people also, you don't have to defend yourself over whether you support Donald Trump or not. Let the people who hate him, just continue to.
You're talking about that here, the state I moved to, Indiana. They've had a red flag law since 2004. That was way before Trump even thought about politics. And Trump was still a Democrat back then. You know? So there we go. Also, where I'm going with this is I think one of the reasons why he got voted in the first place, people liked what he said, and he was like the common man, even though he was a multi-millionaire, he talked like the common man.
Hold on 1 second, Rick. I'm sorry, I didn't mean. Go ahead. Don't let me stop you, Rick.
Okay. But what I'm saying is he's very much like, I think why I like him, because he's like me. He opens his mouth before his brain is in gear. And stuff comes spewing out without him even thinking about it, what he actually said. And I have a bad habit of doing that myself. You know? And of course, the opposition and the media are waiting for him to do that kind of stuff, or they can pounce and make it far worse than it really is. But anyway, that's my take on it. So. What do you think, Squib?
About Trump?
Well, the whole thing in him, yeah. I mean, well, not Trump per se, but it's got to, I guess it is Trump, about what's going on this week. You think he's going to win in 2020?
I'm not sure if I care.
Hey, that's good too. You're entitled to that opinion as well. You know? I said everybody is entitled to what they think. Yeah. Well, general relativity putting there, Trump is not our guy, but nobody better with a chance of winning. The whole of politics is a shit show. Or I think that's what he was trying. He said shit on here, but I think that's what he meant. And you're right. It's
Yeah.
it is.
Cool. Thanks, brother.
Yes, sir.
Rick over there.
Yeah,
You,
Rick is hosting the show.
Rick.
Who are you talking to?
My customer.
Oh, okay.
He wanted to watch your show, so I was telling him how to find it.
All right. How you doing, customer?
His name's
Welcome.
Michael.
Welcome, Michael, to Rick's Life as I See It. You know, the name of the show tells you exactly what I think. You know? Yeah. What's that? I wish there was a third choice that was more aligned with us. Yeah, maybe, but I don't think this country, not in my lifetime, will ever be a third party.
We just elected a third party president. We elected a third party candidate president, and people hate his guts. Donald Trump is the first third party candidate president, and people won't even support him because he said something bad about the bump stock.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, do you think he would have won if he actually ran as an independent?
No, probably not.
You know. So, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You got the Republicans or Democrats, and unfortunately, I think for years to come, especially in my lifetime, there's not going to be like a independent party or a libertarian party up there big enough to make a difference.
Well, that's the problem, is getting them on the mainstream and on the debate stage.
Yeah. I mean, and the only time I saw it happen where it made a I mean, they didn't win, but it changed the outcome of the election was when Ross Perot ran. You know? It took the votes away from what's his name, and they all and what's his name won. Hell, my history, my name, my mind's blank.
Bill Clinton.
You know, but
William Jefferson Clinton.
yes, that's it. Oh, Dead Horse said all the guys I hear bad mouthing Trump will also tell you how good Reagan was in the same breath. Yeah, Reagan done some anti-gun shit too. Yeah. Well, while we're on that, and in the same breath as that, right? This is no pet peeve because I roll here. Whether I'm going to win subs on this one or not, I don't. As Yankee Marshall would say, I don't care. I do really, but if I lose them, I lose them. You hear people going on about. Well, that's another topic we can talk about in a minute. But Springfield Armory, the company that shall not be named. That's what's going around our little gun community because of what they did to the state of Illinois. Yes, they come out on top of that. I mean, after that little law they passed, they lost over 50% of their gun shops as of this week in Illinois. But I don't hear people bad mouthing Ruger. I don't hear people bad mouthing Smith and Wesson. Back in their day, they done some terrible shit too, but people are still buying their guns. You can't. To me, it's hypocritical. Oh, you can't. Don't talk about Smithfield.
But the reason you don't hear them bad mouthing is because back when they did that, you weren't into guns.
The what? No, I wasn't back in the guns. But what I'm saying is, for whatever Smith and Wesson and Ruger did, the way people buy their guns today, the gun community or the gun people of the United States must have forgiven them because they're buying them and they're still in business. So what's this big? I mean, how long is it going to take before Smithfield Armory is forgiven?
Who cares?
You know.
What did they even do in the in a short, easy, Springfield for Dummies? Like, what did they even do?
So them and Rock River Arms got an exemption on a law that would, I can't even remember, ban something, block something, whatever, and they got an exemption on it. You know what? That's just it. Over time heals all wounds, people tend to forget. It's just like when Bill Ruger, when he was alive and in charge of Ruger, he went in front of Congress and said nobody needs more than a 10-round mag. There are people to this day that still will not buy a Ruger because he went in front of Congress and said that. And other people are like, who's Bill Ruger? You know, time heals all wounds. The whole thing is, them and Rock River Arms got an exemption. And they weaseled it through a backdoor deal. And they really didn't use their money or influence or anything else they had, their lawyers or any of the resources they had to do anything other than save themselves. They didn't do anything with it in order to do any good for the 2A community. And it's just like all these people who say, this YouTube channel only talks about guns. They never talk about gun rights. It's the same difference. And you know what? If the channel doesn't want to do that and they lose subs, then they lose subs. If the company wants to get an exemption for themselves and say to hell with everybody else, then they're going to lose business. That's capitalism. The thing is, when a company goes out there and goes, all right, we screwed up, this is how we're going to fix it, and they actually do something, or when that YouTuber goes, all right, you guys keep sending me emails, filling my inbox full of, I need to stand up for the Second Amendment, so I'm going to go to a rally and make a speech. It doesn't matter, because just like we have a short memory as far as remembering things they do, we seem to have no idea about the retraction filed on page 15. So that's just human nature with anything, it seems like these days, or not really these days, ever. So I don't really care if Springfield Armory or Rock River Arms suffers some sort of consequence. It's just like the NRA. All these people who say burn the NRA down, blah 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 blah. Okay, no matter what I feel about that, it really doesn't matter. If the NRA starts losing members and it gets change to happen, great. And if they lose members and they go out of business, who cares? And if they just say we don't care and they figure out another way around it and they keep doing what they're doing, once again, it's kind of like the law of supply and demand.
Yeah. All right. I say so. But back to where I was going. Like, did you read that the state of Illinois that got that FFL act they done back in January, was it? That the governor signed that the FFLs had to get new surveillance cameras, pass some sort of security check by the state and the federal government, and do something else. And it actually was going to cost them thousands of dollars. There was something like 2,430 something FFLs in Illinois as of July 15th. I think the law came into effect July 17th. As of July 15th, the is it the ATF? I can't remember. Whoever issues FFLs said that only 1,100 and something FFLs have applied for a license in Illinois. So they lost 50% of gun stores in Illinois.
I think more importantly, you need to look at this. Illinois can't do things to drive FFLs out of business in their state and then complain about people going to the neighboring state to buy guns. If they're going to shut down FFLs in their state, of course people are going to go to Indiana to buy guns. So whether it's true or not, or what, that's beside the point. You don't do one thing and then you have another thing happen and go, well, we don't know what's it. But nobody's addressing that.
Well, actually, and the government, was it representative or senator of the actual state? He was very happy that only 1,100 FFLs applied for licenses. He means the law is working. I bet he really wished no FFL applied. That was the point of the law, was to get rid of gun stores in the state of Illinois. You know, and unfortunately, yeah, you can take them to court and fight it, right? And say win, but those stores are already out of business. The sort of cost up to get back into business probably wouldn't be worth it in today's, thing. Also, Illinois is democratically controlled in the House and the Senate and in the governor's house. All they do was enact another law, word it different, meaning the same thing, and pass it again, and go through the whole rigmarole yet again. You know? Yeah, General Relativity says the FFL deal in Illinois is BS. With that in mind, he said he expects most of the FFLs that didn't renew are actually a guy with an FFL license and not an actual shop. Very well could be, because you said, I mean, anybody can apply for an FFL, if you meet certain criteria, and you can get, by federal standards, you can get one. All right. What, you got anything you want to add, Kingpin, or anything?
No, it's the whole FFL thing sounds like it's pretty much been covered to my full understanding.
Yeah. So, oh well. I'm not going to bring up the in-house fighting on YouTube with certain big channels, because it's been talked to death, and I think it's just totally. It needs to die. It needs to go away. And if you keep feeding it, it's never going to go away.
That's right.
So I'm not going to. I'm not even going to bring it up. I mean, time will tell. If we'll see. So, if the channel slowly fades away, we know why. So, all right. Oh, it's 3:50. I didn't see Tony today to send him a link. I don't think he's even on. So he's been doing a lot of family stuff, which a lot of people do during the summertime. So that's why I'm going to keep this short too. But also, this is the last Saturday of using Hangouts, because my next show will be in 2 weeks' time. Will be under a new thing. So I don't know. At the moment, okay, what I've done so far, anybody wasn't listening to the Wednesday show, is I signed up for Google G Suites, which includes Hangout Meet. And at the moment, I can use Hangout Meet. I can invite you all in there, but it's not live. It doesn't stream to YouTube or anywhere. I have to be signed up for 30 days before I get streaming privileges to YouTube. So between now and then, and it's going to cost me $6 a month, which is unfortunate. Yes, but what I'm thinking of using in the interim is StreamYard. It's still free and it's easy. But how long is it going to stay free? Everybody thought Hangouts was going to be free forever, but it's not. And also, if you get more than Hangouts allows yourself and 9 other people into the chat room. And I think and that's hard to control the panel. That everybody starts talking at the same time and everything else, and can get out of control. You don't keep it very rigid to letting people talk stuff. So I was going to. Why the reason I was sticking with Hangouts was I didn't want a learning curve. It looks like I'm going to have one anyway. So hopefully, when you see me in 2 weeks' time, I will be running that show on StreamYard until my 30 days up. Then I'll be going back to Hangouts. That's what I'm looking at. All right, the quiz. Last week's question was for this double bunch of I think there's 3 patches in there: pen, chapstick, stickers galore, and all that kind of good stuff. And this week is another bonanza of stuff. I got pins, one of those little pocket hard drive, these hard, what do you call them? I forgot the word for it. So got a pin here, a Every Second Matters patch, my sticker, Patriot in the Dark sticker, American flag, a Don't Tread on Me patch, plenty of more stickers here. This is for this week. So, thumb drive is the word I was looking for. Remembered it. I don't know what it's for. It's for some companies, just a little thumb drive. I don't. Anyway, that's for this week. Anyway, last week or 2 weeks ago, the question was, in the original pilot episode of Miami Vice, I asked what Crockett's gun was and what it was, and it was often mistaken for a Sig Sauer. And I also asked what Tubbs' gun was, and the correct answer was the original. Season 1, episode 1, the pilot episode, he was using the Browning double action 45 ACP, which was often mistaken for a 6-hour P220. Now, that 6-hour that they did use was actually a European model because the 6-hour P220, when this show was released, was not available in the United States. And Bob used the Smith & Wesson Model 36. So that was the correct answers. And I gave that question out on Wednesday, and I said only 2 people had entered. Well, another 4 entered. So now there's 6 of you to win that prize. So let me go to my random picker here and hit the draw now button. And the winner is... Come on, computer.
Squidlow.
And the winner is Mel Smith.
All right, Mel Smith. Way to go.
Oh, here's the winner. I'm glad he won because he's been entering, I don't know, for a long time. And it's been a long time since he's won, too. A very long time. So I'm glad he won. So there we go. And Mel Smith, he's one of the few of my entries that actually use my Spotted Rick Gmail. Awesome. So it's nice. So there you go, Mel Smith. You're the winner. All right. This week's question was sent in so he cannot enter by unknown user. I think that's who sent it in. I believe so. I copied and pasted it into my thing here, and I forgot to put down who sent it, but I believe it was unknown user. I have to go through my trash email that I deleted it and make sure that was him. In the movie Red Heat, that had Arnold Schwarzenegger played a Russian cop in America, right? And he used a fictional Russian gun that he said was the most powerful gun in the world. I want to know what the name of that Russian gun was. Also, what gun it actually was. They modified it. I want to know what it actually was. So, there's your homework. What gun was the most powerful gun in the world used in the movie Red by the Russian cop? I think, what was his name? Captain Ivan Danko. I think that's what name he used in the movie. And what was the actual real gun that was used to make that gun? So, email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. By lunchtime, 12 noon Eastern, and my next one will be on the 10th of August, my next show. So you got to the 10th of August to find the answer. So there you go. All right. I'll try. I'm writing down Mel Smith as the winner here if I can remember to see if I can get his mailing address. So there you go, the winner. All right. So if anybody's interested, because it's almost quitting time, I'm having hot dogs for lunch today after the show here. And throw hot dogs on the grill. The only reason I'm going with hot dogs and not hamburgers is because I've run out of mayonnaise. I didn't buy any the other day. I forgot. And I'm not just jumping in the truck driving 12 miles to the store to pick up a jar of mayonnaise.
Are you out of salad cream?
I don't use salad cream. I've had salad cream since I left England. You know? Salad cream's quite nice, actually, but it wouldn't work on a hamburger, not in my opinion. You know? Put it this way. This is kind of bad, and I'm going to get hated for it, but I'd rather use Miracle Whip than salad cream on a hamburger. You know? So. All right. Vanessa joined us. We're almost at the end here, Vanessa, unfortunately. In the summertime, I can't run them as long as I normally do because I don't have the panel in here with all the questions going. So, because everybody's got things to do. You know? Oh, Jason Stewart says he's having a ham and cheese sub. Hey, that works too. You know? I said I got to go shopping, actually. I mean, I'm out of cheese as well. You know, if I can't have my cheese and Branston pickle sandwich at the moment, you know. So, yeah, it's getting towards the end of the month now, guys. You know, I work on a monthly system here, so I'm getting better. Oh, good news! Gun dealer called me. My actual 380 Performance Center in gold is sitting at the gun dealer.
Nice.
It arrived yesterday. Okay. I have some other, to be honest with you, I ordered it. Oh, I put my name on the list thinking, I still got plenty of time. It took Sean 6 to 8 weeks for his to show up. So I got plenty of time to save them all the money. I've only got part of it right now, and I gotta jiggle things around. I could, rob Peter to pay Paul and everything to come up with it. But anyway, cut a long story short, I told them up and said, look, here's the situation. And I explained the situation. They said, no problem. They said, put a minimum deposit down, 25%, $475 plus tax. So say $500 thereabout. What, 20% is what? $125?
You'd have to ask Vanessa.
What?
You'd have to ask Vanessa about the math question.
Yeah, I think it's $125, right? And they said, you got to put it on layaway. You got 90 days to pick it up. Works out beautiful. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going. I told them I will be over there Monday, and I said I'll put at least the minimum down, and for you guys to hold it for me. They said no problem. So there you go. So just want to let you know. So now I gotta get online and look for a holster for it. You know, hey, would it fit in the? I won this off of Ghost Tactical. Last year? Where is it? It's this is a what you call it for a shield. Would it fit in there? It's of course, it's inside the waistband. For a Smith & Wesson shield. I'll try to see if it works. But I'd rather have outside the waistband because I don't want to go around pimping. I want people to see this gold gun, the gold barrel, the grips. I mean, and the gold trigger and shit.
Yeah.
So, you started pimp. I just want to pass that news on. That's coming. So I'll have a new gun pretty soon, which is always nice. Oh, Rich White says the Shield Easy 8 380 doesn't fit. Oh well, I'll just have to buy a standard shield to fit in the holster, I guess, since I've got it. So there we go. The reason when I won it and I took it was because I was planning on buying a shield at the time, but something happened and I never did get it. But this gives me an excuse now. But I'll get my Easy 380. Oh, you shit. Me, I say, the Smith & Wesson 380 EZ Performance Center. They brought out the 380 in a Performance Center model. You can have it in black, silver, or gold. I can't think of the material. It has a gold barrel, a gold colored barrel, I should say. Gold colored trigger. The safety, the grip safety is gold as well. It's fluted barrel. It's got cut things in the slide. Oh, it's a sweet looking gun, I'm telling you. Or I should say sweet looking firearm. I'm going to be styling.
Since it's got a cold trigger, does that make it a TOC? A trigger of color?
Yes. That's what it is. The trigger of color. Oh, if you look at Sean Connery put out a video because he got one and he got the gold one before I did. He only ordered it because I mentioned it. So but he got his before I got mine. That's all right. I'll let him have the glory. He likes all that. He likes all that attention anyway. So Rich Wright saying is Kingpin saying it's a POC with a TOC.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, guys. We're going to start winding this down unless you guys got anything you want to talk about. Any new firearms in your horizon, Kingpin?
Just the 30-30 lever action. And then, like I said, I still haven't decided which handgun I'm going to get next, but I'm actually at the house of the guy who let me shoot the 30-30 for the first time like 2 weeks ago, and I made my decision at that point in time, once I pulled the trigger for the first time, that's what I'm getting.
Yeah, I want a lever action too. Now, I plan on doing a little bit of rabbit hunting and squirrel hunting this coming season. So I was thinking of getting a lever action in 22. Or should I just go ahead and get a lever 30-30 lever action, one of the big boys? I don't know. Something I got to think about. Hell, why not get one of each?
Yep, there you go.
I found a store that can do me 90-day layaway. What more do I need? Damn it. This is going to be terrible. I'm going to be buying guns all the time. So, oh, Sean Ponder says, I'm seriously considering pushing everything aside and get one of those, how do you pronounce that? Stern? Steyr L92A2 MS. So,
I
there
have
you go.
no idea.
You have to, if anybody knows what that is, I'll have to look it up. So, anyway, let me run through my 2 panel people here for any plugs or shout outs. We'll start with Squib.
Yeah, I'd like to plug the Mr. Big Kid channel because apparently he used a Jedi mind trick on me today and convinced me to make steak for dinner. So thanks. Also, guess everybody just stay tuned to see how well things work after Hangouts goes away, and be patient with the technical difficulties and some of the changes in there. I got to tell you that StreamYard for mobile sucks, and being backstage sucks. I'm hoping that because Hangouts goes away, one, Google realizes that they could have made a ton of money by simply just saying, if you want Hangouts, it's going to cost you $25 a month. There's plenty of people that do live shows that would be willing to pay it just to keep things the way they were. And these other groups that are out there that are providing software that maybe is free or maybe is paid might say, maybe if we make this stuff more user-friendly, we could sell some subscription. We could really take some business away from Google if they ever decide to come back with a paid version of Hangouts. So I'm hoping this breeds something positive, some sort of competition, and we've got more options out there for doing live shows. I mean, I don't actually host one. I'm a panelist on lots of them, and I can tell you, being on this end, it's sometimes it's just the behind the scenes stuff is a little bit different if you've never been on one. So just bear with the people as they're going through the technical difficulties.
Appreciate that. Yes, remember that. And also, I'll be back. Don't forget, I'll be back on Wednesday, July 31st at 7 p.m. with my Shooting with Disability show, and that will be the last one for me with Hangouts as we know it today. So, just want to mention that. All right, David.
Oh, wait. One more thing.
Yes.
Is Midnight Range still out there?
I haven't seen him type anything for a while.
At midnight, if you're out there, hey, tomorrow night I got to work. I got to work late, actually. So I'll actually be at work when your show's starting. So if I can get an invite, I'd like it. And if I can't, I understand. Or whatever you want to call it. Thanks.
All right. So I don't know if he's out there, but I'm sure if he is, he heard you. Or somebody will pass it along to him. All right. David, any shout out for plug?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Rick. Always a pleasure. I think once you use StreamYard a few more times, Squib, you'll start liking it a little bit more on mobile. I do agree it's not the greatest on mobile, but it's not terrible. And then check out, I'm sure Dead Horse is going to have the lobby open after Rick's show goes off the air, so go check out Dead Horse on Gun Channels in the open lobby. And what?
Sorry to interrupt. I was going to say, is G-Web doing his Minuteman University today?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. And then special thanks to Mike and Patty out there listening. Thanks for having me at your house. Hopefully everything on your deck looks good. And Rick's a great guy. You'll love his show.
All right. There you go. Thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate it on this. Hey, don't forget to give me the thumbs up, share, like, pass it on, let people know. If you want to, I have a Patreon page, and I got a one-time payment on PayPal. Everything's down below if you're interested. Support the channel. If you don't want to, just want to come and listen to me ramble, that is great too. Also, the audio files of every show I've ever done are on Podbean, iTunes, and Stitcher. This one will be on there in audio form within 24 hours of this show ending. I do that as well for people who, want to listen to us ramble on. So if you're driving from New York to LA, you can listen. I got so many shows out there, you can listen to me all the way, I reckon. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you all on Wednesday at 7 p.m. with Shooting with Disabilities. Goodbye, all. Good afternoon. Hey, Dano. Good to see you in the show. All right.
Copy infringed.